About 10 after 10. We left yesterday on our voyage to find the elusive celt in Scotland and Ireland. We spent the night with our good friends Margot and her friend Tom. And we are now at the port of Calais. Because we didn't quite get here in time. We missed our ship, and here's a ferry that's just unloading. You see all the people getting off, and let me walk up here. It used to be that P&O and Stena were competitors, but sometime last year they combined. So you can see it's a pretty big ferry. It goes across. And way over there somewhere is the White Cliffs of Dover. We're going to have about an hour wait here. Don't know, probably that one is what we get on, I'm not sure. Or maybe this one. Don't know for sure. But in any case, won't be too long and we'll be in merry old England. We've already got lined up. The French are really modernizing this port, redoing it. Over the years since we've been coming to England and using Calais, it has just improved dramatically from when we first started. I haven't a clue. The tunnel is to the right of us, down the coast that way, probably another 5 miles or so. But I like the boat, even though the tunnel is a lot faster and about the same price. The boat just has more panache. Inside the ship, and you can just see how big this thing is. And now we've got to find our way up on topside and figure out how far we're going to drive in England and where we're going to camp tonight. All the way up there, get up on deck side, topside. Well, I'm up on topside.
This is an important safety announcement. Your attention is drawn to the emergency instruction notices which are displayed in the assembly stations and in other passenger spaces.
We're just about ready to take off.
These notices include the location of assembly stations,
about a minute.
the areas
we'll probably start
should assemble in the event of an emergency,
to leave Calais.
The method of donning a life jacket,
We have
and the description of the general
very nice day.
alarm signal.
Mild,
Consists of 7 or more
not real cold,
followed by one long blast on the ship's whistle.
We'll leave right through there.
Similar signal on the alarm bell.
And about 24-25 miles across is Dover.
Proceed to the nearest assembly station. Assembly stations are located throughout the public passenger spaces and can be identified by a square green and white sign with arrows pointing inwards to a symbol.
Well, we've just started to move. And I'm at the back of the ship. You can feel the tremors running through the ship as he eases us away from the dock. So it takes an hour and 15 minutes, and then I'll come back up here when we get close to Dover. I have to do some shopping. Well, let's see how well this comes out. There is the White Cliffs of Dover, and that's Ramsgate. I'll pan across. And over to my left, I keep going, keep going, keep going. And that should be Dover Castle right there, and that's where we should come into. Okay, let me back this way. It's gotten a cloudy day, and we have some ships on the horizon, probably going to Calais. So it looks there could be a little sun. Get a little closer. So there's the White Cliffs of Dover. They're always a spectacular sight with the green hills on top. I've been joined by a French couple. It's okay. Well, we're almost here. They told us to go to our cars, and there's the castle up on top, making a terrible racket, vibrating. It has to get turned around, you see. And I'm shooting through a door, so. We're down below decks, 3 decks down. It's so noisy. We've never been on the ferry with our camper before, so we're in a different deck. But you can see it's really packed in here. But we're one of the first to leave. There's the door right there that we'll leave from. Well, we've had quite a morning since I've last spoken to this camera. We wanted to go to the Isle of Man, and we went to a town called Knott's End, and we found the ferry, except the ferry doesn't run from Knott's End anymore. Had to go to Heysham. We went to Heysham, which is by Lancaster, and the ferry goes and comes right back. You can't spend any time there other than stay overnight. So we've driven back here to Lancaster, and now I've discovered that there is a Roman fort and all kinds of good things around Lancaster. So we're going to do this. This is Lancaster's castle. It still has courts, law courts in session. Has prison inside, and then of course it has this very old church that you can see here from this wall that I'm looking at, the different construction and materials that was used. So now I'm going to walk down and get go to an information bureau and get lots of stuff about this area and other camping places.
Did you film this?
Not yet.
Why didn't you just stand back and do the whole thing at one time?
I'm making sure I can read it.
The one upstairs.
Well, here's a uniform that a soldier would wear during our period of the American Revolution. And okay, there's a horn and carry powder in. Horn was so here's a gun that was used during this period. It's called a flintlock. And buttons they wore on their jackets. Well, in this realization, there's one of the King's Own, which is an army regiment up from Lancaster. He's about to stab the Scot and this is a replica of the battle called the Jacobite Rebellion. It takes place in the 1680s.
Go ahead.
I don't think they can hear me, but I'll try. This cross was erected on the site of an ancient cross. It's a memorial to King Edward VIII. And we're going to go to the Roman bathhouse next. Well, we're looking at what's left of a Roman fort. And what's amazing is that I'm inside of a church. So they know for a fact that this church was built on the site of this Roman fort and included some of the Roman wall into it. Makes sense. It's already there, isn't it? The stones. So it's very, very ancient. At least goes back to 12th centuries. This spot. And it probably was considered sacred before they put a church here. Many times that happens. They found pieces of a runic cross. Now that's it in the corner over there. Runic is a language used by the Norse. I'm at the site of the church that I was inside earlier. Supposedly there are 12 crosses or fragments of crosses embedded into the church. They broke the crosses up and used them as building stones. And some of the crosses have names on them. So this is a very, very ancient church, 12th centuries or longer. They've been worshiping here, and you see this whole thing is graves. It's gravestones along here. And then just on the other side of this is the Lancaster Castle, which I said is a prison, law courts, and it's also the site of built on the site of a Roman fort. And probably before the Romans built here, the Celts had something. It's not crowded at all. Well, we're on the way to the car to go shopping and then see some other things in this area. Well, we're walking on this little path up to an ancient rectory. And just through the woods, we got what's left of an old quarry, and these guys are climbing it. Here we go. So they're just we're doing a little hike. We're in a very beautiful place. Show you later. Well, I don't know if we're going to see the old rectory, but we are in this nature preserve. The guy said to go up the trail, keep going to the top, and I'm going up to the top. But very strange. I think this was quarried here. Just don't know. We got not a bad day. It hasn't rained on us yet. Looking up this path, I come across that rabbit. Not afraid of me at all. Well, I'm just keep going up this hill. But it's been quarried all the way up, as you can see here. And all the buildings in the surrounding area built out of stone. And I have a wonderful view here, but I'm not going to show you just yet. I'm going to get to the top. Well, my trail goes along there and up to a gate. Right up there. And then, let me just show you what I'm looking at. Way out there is the ocean. And Isle of Man is out there somewhere that all my life I wanted to get to go to, but I'm not going to do it. And then, let's back up a little bit. We can see this beautiful green countryside that I'm overlooking. Runs right up to the coast. Now, this is the village of Wharton. And the village of Wharton is important because of this church. Every July 4th, that church flies the American flag. Now, why would it do that in the land of the UK? Because the relatives of George Washington built that church. And to this day, they still fly the flag. And a little bit later, we're going to have a beer in the George Washington pub. But I got to continue my walk and climb first. Well, I've made it almost to the top. It says that this is, there's a sign that says this is Wharton's Craig. It's just, whew. It's just beautiful. I don't know where Maria is. She went one way on one trail, and I've went another way. I don't know where the old rector is. I guess it's somewhere. That's pretty interesting. Whatever those are. But just when you think you're at the top, then there's another place you see that's higher, and you gotta go. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just there's a guy walking. I'm gonna just walk down, see where Maria went. Well, we're going to go in there to George Washington. They even got a picture of him. And we're going to have a beer. And then we're going to go to the church. Are you working? Well, we have a tombstone here that says Elizabeth Washington, June the 15th, 1751. Thomas Washington, and then we have it in Latin. And it says 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, 1,800, 1823. He died. So this turned out to be a much better day than I anticipated. Oh, and right behind us is the old rectory. And when I was up on top, what I didn't know at Wharton's Craig, but that there was a hill fort up there. Maybe we can still get to it, because I'm very interested in those. But we're going to go inside and see what we can see in there.
Go ahead.
I would like to read this to you. The place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Do no injury to tree or flower, for they are dedicated to God, and the memory of the departed. Around thee sleep the dead. Thou too must die. Consider thy end, and thou shalt never do amiss. So this is a church that the relatives of Washington built. And of course, we already seen some of Washington's gravestones, his relatives' gravestones. And now just behind us is...
Oh, that's an old house.
Well, we don't exactly know how old this place is,
1612.
but we do know that
There you go. On top.
it's Washington's house. So let me get right up here. Get that 1612. And then up here, I don't know what that means, but I think it's important. And then over here we have a date again with R, looks like a heart and an S, 1612. And then I was in that place asking directions, and Peter and Frida Cummings, you see, run that Wharton post office, and I told him that my name was Douglas Cummins, and he said I wasn't a real Cummings because I was missing the G. I had to have everything to be a Cummings. All my life, people have been adding the G to my last name, and here he says I have to have it. Well, we're going to leave now and go back to our campground. Well, I'm looking at the tower in Blackpool, England. And we have come back to our campground, and as you can see, I'm on the coast. This is the Irish Sea. Well, we're going to bike on the boardwalk. We've got a pretty good wind coming up here. We got all kinds of amusement. And we're going to just go right down here. And I'm just about at the end of this tape. It's a little chilly. I hope I work up some